Hey, what's up? What's up? Joe in Vegas back with another review. 50 Cent, his famous now Residency. It's been famous, not famous, but it's been talked about since it was announced a couple months back. It started with how much he was getting paid. So he signed a deal with Planet Hollywood to do 6 shows over New Year's and into the new year. 6 shows, he got $15 million. That's a lot of money for 50 Cent. But hey, my attitude with this stuff is it's business, it's supply and demand, and as long as people like me are willing to pay the cost for tickets and they crunch the numbers and they know their casino math, and I don't know how they figure that out, but there is no question that when a concert is done, the casino is packed and the bars are packed and the restaurants are packed before. So somewhere out there, there's some casino math. If anybody knows how that is calculated, I would love to know because it's fascinating to me. But anyway, he got $15 million for 6 shows. What happened was on opening night, that made a lot of news. And then opening night, which was the 27th, one of the big influencers in Vegas, her name is Vegas Starfish. I nothing against her personally. I just don't understand how she doesn't sound like Vegas. She doesn't look like Vegas. She's got zero personality. She talks like a robot. I don't understand how she became one of the bigger influencers, if not the biggest influencer in town. She's just very good at that, like, TikTok, Instagram voice. You have to check out the latest and greatest pop-up bar. Fuck that. But for some reason, people follow her. I follow her. And I don't know why. Like I said, zero personality. But she went the first night and killed the show. Said it was the worst show she's ever seen in Vegas. And that made a lot of news. I don't know why. Probably because of how much he was getting paid, or probably because the way the media works right now, they just love to fucking trash everything. And if there's a negative story like this, they jump all over it. And then 50, on I think a couple nights ago, responded to her on stage. And then she responded and said, well, from what she's heard, that the show got better. She blamed the audio, which was bullshit. I don't know. Look, I've been reviewing concerts in Vegas for a long time. That show wasn't terrible. It wasn't the worst show. I've seen a lot worse shows in Vegas. Let me get into a little bit with 50. So I like the guy. I don't love his music. I know his hits. We all know In the Club and Candy Shop. They've just been massive, massive songs for a long time already. But to me, most of his stuff sounds almost exactly the same. He's not an incredible rapper. His voice is very monotone, but he's got some little catchy beats. And, it's not my style of music, but I follow him on social media, and I think he's awesome. I actually think he's a really funny guy. I actually think he's a smart guy. He's incredibly entrepreneurial. He's got TV shows. He's got his cognac. He's got video games. He's movies. The guy's done everything, and good for him. He deserves all that success. He's got that famous vitamin water story where he made, I think, $100 million back in the day investing in vitamin water. Good for him. I salute him. I enjoy watching him, this and that. His style of music is not for me unless it's just a 3-minute hit on the radio, which is fair. I don't think there's anything wrong with me saying that. I grew up on heavy metal and rock and roll, and I like In the Club. I like Candy Shop. I like those hits. They're fun. But to go sit for an hour and a half in a concert, it starts to blend together for me. However, and I always say this about my reviews, you are not, this shit is about my opinion, but my opinion and other influencers' opinions are not the end all and say all. I make sure at every concert I go to, especially if it's one that I'm not really into, and I look around the crowd. And I looked around this crowd many times, and I knew the girls that I was with. It was a house party. People were having fun. Everybody was on their feet. Everybody was drunk. Everybody was dancing. And that's the whole fucking point of this, especially his music. He doesn't have music that you're going to sit and connect to and cry and think about an ex-girlfriend or think about your dead father or think about, those hard times in your life where this song got you through it. That's not what you're paying for. You're paying for house party. This is fun music. This is get off your ass and dance. And yes, it becomes nostalgic because he's getting older. So hearing these songs reminds you of the 2000s and 10s or whenever it came out, or probably earlier. Shit, he's old. We're all old. But that's what it's for. And I can't knock on that because it's not my style of music. But it's still fun, and there's still something called energy. And when you're in a show, if it's not even your style of music, but the energy around you is great, that's all that matters. The score I'm going to rate this review is my personal opinion, but I'm going to preface, whatever that word is, give an asterisk and say this is my experience, but I'm telling you, if you're a fan, it's a much higher. I don't know 60% of the songs. I was surprised I knew 40% of the songs. But if you knew all the songs and you're a big 50 fan and you make a trip out of Vegas with your girlfriend or your friends or your buddies, whatever it is, and you're going to have a great time. I don't know what the fuck Vegas Starfish was talking about. The audio was fine. Everything was fine. No one posted a set list, which again goes back to the difference between my generation and this generation, because we look, there's nothing that can completely you don't get emotionally connected to any part of that show. There's no moments of ballads where you're just, it's just fun. It's just a fun. So let me see. He's got someone posted. I don't know. This is not the right set list. So I'm not going to go through it because it's different. Last night he had a couple surprises. Jeremiah, I don't know who that is. The girls I was with were shocked that I didn't. He came out at like 4 or 5 songs in, and he did 2 or 3 songs, and 50 came out and did a song with him. And then 50 did another bunch of songs, and then Flow Rider came out. So I'm guessing these were his buddies. I don't know if that was planned or they were just backstage. And he did that apple bottom jeans with the fur, that song. Low, I think that's what it's called. And then This Is My House. And then 50 came on. Where I think 50 did screw up, and again, I don't know the song titles. I thought he was ending the show. The show started at 9:20 and it was done by like 10:45. Not a very long show. Towards the end, where I thought it was almost over, he did In the Club, which you would assume he would close the show with, and then he kept going for a few more songs. He went off a stage, came back, and the last couple songs, which I think were new songs, honestly, they were not good. They sounded different than everything else he was playing. That's why I think they were newer songs, and they were not good. So he kind of lost the crowd. I don't know, very strange. A show like this should end within the club and let everybody just bounce out of there. Like the last few songs, everybody was just kind of sitting down. Nobody was that into it. So I don't know his set list choices, but not my problem. That was his last concert here. I don't know if this review is helping anybody, but I'm going to do it anyway. Maybe he'll come back. It was pretty crowded. Tickets were not fucking cheap. I paid $220 plus fees. 3 tickets down we were in section 101. Cost me like $800, which is a lot of money for 3 tickets. I did it. So he got paid. I got a show. They were happy. I was happy. Scale of 1 to 10. For me, I'm going to give it a 7.1. It was good. It wasn't like amazing. It wasn't terrible. I don't know what she's talking about. But I think if you were a fan, and I know the girls I was with would have ranked it much higher, I think you're looking at like a higher 8s, maybe 8.5, 8.6. So good night out. Little pricey, but that's what it is. I don't have a set list, but he played all the hits. So again, I don't know if he's going to come back. He might. This review might not mean anything to anybody, but I'm posting it anyway. Thanks for listening. I appreciate it. Subscribe, comment if you were there. Let me know what you thought, and I will see you at the next show. Bye-bye.